Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two issues, one or two pieces of information. One, I think it was obvious, and that is Sergei Lavrov, the current foreign minister of the Russian Federation, will keep his post. He will not be removed. I covered a piece of news earlier today with Sergei Shoigu, the defense minister of the Russian Federation, being removed by Vladimir Putin in a way to reshuffle his government. Remember, he got elected, he got sworn in, now he's bringing people, changing and all that. But Sergei Lavrov is kept on the post, which is, I think, a fantastic decision. Why? Lavrov is one of the most fantastic diplomats that I would say I ever known, by reading about their deeds, statements, and looking at them. All right, because it matters. Remember, the body language is about what, 60 to between 60 and 80% of your message is delivered by your body language. All right, so if you're hunchback and, hey, I'm a strong man, not really, versus someone who's going to be more relaxed, more open, more relaxed. Okay, the same. Watch your body language. So let's look at the first article, and then we're going to go to the next article, which is going to be Russia, through Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, will directly challenge the West to a military confrontation, saying, if you guys want to settle the war, the situation in Ukraine, by armed conflict, bring it on. Okay, so let's read the first article. Russia Today. Lavrov to remain Russian foreign minister after reshuffle. The veteran cabinet member will continue at the helm of the Russian diplomatic corps. I'm glad he does that. Lavrov is 74. So who's coming next? I'm very confident that and very happy, if Maria Zakharova will be the next foreign minister of the Russian Federation. I think she would take the flag, actually not taking from down, taking from up, and continue the same line or even better. Very smart woman, very ballsy. No defects over there. Has served as foreign minister in consecutive Russian governments since 2004, 20 years. Before that, the career diplomat spent a decade representing Moscow at the United Nations. I know him from them. In the early 1990s, under President Boris Yeltsin, he held the position of deputy foreign minister. Okay, the only minister to lose his post in defense minister is Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. So this is great news. I like it. Next one, which is more important than that. I mean, they're both important. Sputnik. If 5 hours ago the West wants to settle Ukrainian conflict on battlefield, Russia ready, Lavrov said. This guy right here. And who's back there? Ooh, bow, cuckoo, bow. Anyway, look at this. Order, discipline, civilization. Great. On my liking. I like that. Let's see. Okay, they both have the same kind of ties. If Western countries want to solve the Ukrainian crisis on the battlefield, Russia is ready for this, acting Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Monday. And I'm directly quoting Sergei Lavrov. This is their, in parentheses, Western countries' right. If they want to, and in parentheses, settle the conflict on the battlefield, it will be on the battlefield, end quote, Lavrov said during consultations at the parliament's upper house. Moscow has repeatedly said that it is ready for negotiations to resolve the Ukrainian crisis, but taking into account the current reality, Lavrov added. When I say current reality, is this. You have those, how do you call them, provinces, oblasts, who are already ours. We are advancing, you are losing, so we have the upper hand big time, and those things will not come back to anyone but Russia, because that's where they came from. Crimean Peninsula, Luhansk, Donetsk, and all those, Kherson, Kharkiv, and who knows what else. They said Kiev is also a Russian city, which, if you look at Kiev and Rus, you're going to find out that's kind of like, Here, speaking about the conference on Ukraine in Switzerland, planned for June, Russia was not invited. Lavrov likened the situation to giving a schoolboy a reprimand. And I'm quoting, the conference boils down to formulating an ultimatum to Russia once again, he added. Switzerland will host the high-level pop, boom, boom, boom. The thing is this. Russia should not and will not participate in a meeting, in a conference where they will take as a framework Zelensky-Stein's delusional peace 10 points peace process or whatever plan. That's not. If you think that's a good plan, just put yourself at the receiving end and see if you would agree with that. And if you agree with that, then you're a pussy, basically, because it's an ultimatum. That's what it is. I mean, it's like someone slaps you and you don't respond. Well, it depends on the context. But if he wants to strangle you, what are you going to do? Wait until the police comes? Hey, remember, you have a handgun right here. What would you do? If you can beat him up, let's say poke him in the eye, you won the contest right there. Or in his ass. Right there. Okay, so great news. Lavrov is still there, and 74. But hey, you got, what's his name? What the fuck is his name? The guy that died last year. The Jewish Secretary of State and advisor under Nixon and whatever he was, Ford, was it? What's his name? The German immigrant. Jesus Christ, German. I deserve to be punched in the face right now, in the eye, right there. A German immigrant, fucking idiot. What's his name, man? The guy who spoke like me, broken English. Just let me think about it. I can't remember the guy's name. Jesus Christ, Henry Kissinger. Remember, he was not that old when he was out of the office, but he kept his cool and his brain for a long time. I mean, he died at what, 101 or 102? And he was still verbal, and he got more neurons than, what's his name, Blinken too, Biden has. So that's the first one. The second one, these guys are not afraid. The Russians are not afraid. Why would you be? I mean, in case you are losing a conventional war, which I don't think they would lose, probably we're a stalemate. Why? In a fight, it's not necessary. This is what I learned, what I read, and what I am convinced. It's not how many weapons you got and how your military might being the potential might. It is the balls that you got. A weaker person with a more aggressive style, more aggressive attitude will beat a bigger guy with bigger potential, but being a scaredy cat, a coward, a guy like soft. That's why people who defend their countries, like Ukraine, right, will win usually with the aggressor. Why? They should have a different spirit. The problem here in Ukraine is that the Ukrainians, some of them, don't want to fight. Why? They figured out who is who and what is what. Therefore, they don't have the same passion as a person who really says, yeah, I'm invited by the Russian. Some people might say, no, actually, the Russians will liberate us from the imbeciles that want to actually enslave us, which are the foreign banks and foreign Western banks, and Western by name, owned by non-Westerners. If you know what I mean? You know? Okay. And so on. Some of them don't want to fight for Zelensky Stein, or for Zmihal Stein, or for Umerov, or for Yermak Stein, or for the Russian Syrskyi general. Maybe they don't want that. Maybe they're cowards. Some of them are. But still, some of them are pretty intelligent, right? And they see their own interest. So here you have Lavrov saying, we want to meet you on the battlefield. We're not afraid, and we have the potential. And if they lose, they always have nuclear weapons to just lay on. Poof. I hope they don't get that point, but if they get my point, my issue is, why not earlier? You could have saved so many lives, destruction, and so on. I hope they don't get that point, but these guys, As long as their interests continue to get big profits, they will do it. Human lives losses and so on, and countries occupied and refugees and that means for them nothing. Take examples in history of certain people, like for instance, I was just watching a documentary on Iuliu Maniu. Iuliu Maniu was a Romanian from Transylvania who was a politician, and how he was he was by the communists in 1947. He was judged and then incarcerated. He died in 1957, I think. So 10 years at the age of, 78 or something like that. So he was a politician. They just incarcerated him. They didn't care. Look how they killed Ceausescu. That's the way you do it. They didn't care. Look how they killed other leaders. Good, not good or bad, because it's wrong to say good or bad. It's not such a thing. It's not such a thing as all good and all bad. I know that's the most evil guy in the world that has never done anything good, but he was a good painter. Anyway, and if you say so, you try to get to Vienna's Institute of Arts. Let's put it. You try. I'm a good painter, and I look at those paintings and I say, no. So remember, and who were going over there? How many were over there? So when I say, well, I'm talking about Adolf. He tried 2 times and he failed. Can you paint better than he? No, he couldn't. How many could? How many positions were over there? 20? And remember, Vienna was not Kabul or Bucharest in those times, okay? It was the capital of, certain kind of artistic renaissance. Vienna is not, as I said. So I'm not insulting Kabul, but I'm just giving, because it's probably, King Baktu, whatever, Timbuktu or whatever. So the same. They don't care. And I took just two examples, which was Ceausescu and Iuliu Maniu, like many others. They just discard you like you're nothing. You're nothing. Not even a flea that you. What the fuck are you doing here? Not even that. So again, the Russians have the Russian leadership, which is bad, we're told, should understand that these guys will pull Gaddafi-style removal on all of them just like this, with no problem. And then the masses that support you today, tomorrow pull a Mussolini on you. Remember, it was not like that's people infiltrated. It's people who take you, people who push it, people who get the crowd. It's the crowd psychology, mass psychology. Look at that one. It's your level of intelligence at that point in a mass. It goes to what, about 86? 86, you're baboon. So, good, and I hope they don't get to that point where they're going to use nuclear weapons. The Russians are not afraid. These guys will use you and I, your children, your brothers and sisters, to attain their profits. Material profits. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.